maybe God might be willing to kind of lower his standards, especially in my case, perhaps. And so I don't know, what do you think? Maybe that's a possibility. I asked the opinion on this very question. I asked the opinion of a very bright group of 17-year-old boys at a very posh public school who were doing A-level general studies. Yeah. And so, they're sitting down there in a semicircle. I walk into the room and I begin with this question. I said, in your opinion, gentlemen, do you think there are any sins, any crimes that are so serious that those who commit that sin will never get to go to heaven when they die? And they said, oh yeah! They said, oh yeah! I said, well, like what? They said, oh, murderers. Murderers should never get to go to heaven when they die. I said, oh, right, okay. I said, any other sins? Maybe down the other end of the spectrum. Maybe there are some other sins that actually God's not too fussed about. Sins that God will kind of sweep under the carpet. Are there any sins like that? They said, oh yeah! They said, oh yeah! I said, like what? They said, well, they said, like mild shoplifting. I said, what? Sort of as opposed to hardcore, habitual shoplifting. They said, yeah, mild shoplifting. God's not too fussed about mild shoplifting. I said, any other crimes, any other sins that God's not too fussed about? They said, oh yeah. I said, like what? They said, what? Like lying? God's not too fussed about lying? I said, guys, we are really making some progress. In the first 2 minutes of our A-level general studies, you have established that at one end of the spectrum, murderers will never get to go to heaven when they die. But at the other end of the spectrum, you have established that mild shoplifting and lying are okay. I said, guys, somewhere between these two extremes, there must be a cut-off point sin. That the moment you commit this cut-off point sin, you don't get to go to heaven when you die. I said, guys, what is that cut-off point sin? And one boy rose to his feet. And I said, Rupert. It was that kind of school. I said, Rupert, what is that cut-off point sin? And he said, serious fraud. And of course, the moment he said it, everybody in the classroom burst out laughing. Because we all realized in the classroom, you know what? We would probably need God to tell us what God's cut-off point is. And actually in the Bible, God has told us what his cut-off point is. Actually, all of us are cut off. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God.